Hello and welcome to News Laundry. I am Nidhi Suresh, and for the last 2 weeks, we've been covering the farmer protests across different entry points of Delhi. We've been bringing you lots of ground reports. And apart from the conversations between the center and the farmer leaders, we've also been seeing a lot of different kinds of developments with leaders returning their Padma Vibhushan. We've seen sportsmen returning their awards. We've also seen a lot of heated and fairly viral debates between Bollywood actors on Twitter. And the latest development has been the resignation of the Deputy Inspector General of Prisons, Punjab. And today I have with us Mr. Lakhminder Singh Jakhar. And you can correct me if I'm saying the name wrong, sir. What would be the
Okay.
right pronunciation of your name?
It is Lakhminder Singh Jakhar.
Jakhar, okay.
Yes,
Lakhminder
okay.
Singh Jakhar. And
Okay.
he gave in his resignation on Sunday, citing solidarity with the farmers. So firstly, thank you for taking the time out and joining us on News Laundry. And I'd like to start actually by asking you, is it safe to call you the former DIG of prisons, or are you still on duty?
I am former now.
You are former, and so you're not going to the office at all. Are you? Have you applied for leave?
No, I have applied for my premature retirement.
Okay. And has your resignation been accepted yet?
Yes, it is. I think all from my side, it has been done, and legally there is no hitch in it. Hopefully, I'll get in a day or two.
And so, Mr. Singh, I'd really like to ask you, what was the trigger in taking this big step? Because you were in a very high position. And what triggered you? Was there a moment when you decided that I'm going to resign now?
Yes, I must tell you my family background. I am from a farmer background and I am son of a farmer. I have been cultivating my lands also. I have never gone for mortgaging the lands with anybody. I do it myself. And then the plight of the farmers on road, really, I felt bad about it. And the laws which were in short going to harm the farmer community are also not well taken by me personally.
And was there a moment when you decided? Because now it's been almost 2.5 months since the farmer protests have begun. Say over the last week, was there a moment when you felt like you were either constrained by duty and not able to express yourself, or did you feel that this was a symbolic gesture which was needed to support the farmers?
Yes, during these few weeks, or rather around 10 days back, there was a farmer who was sitting in the protest, and his son died while serving in Jammu and Kashmir as a soldier. And his father was sitting there on a peaceful protest against these ordinances. So this really hurt me. I was myself in army earlier, and I also lost my father. Couldn't see him due to the problem because I was there. I couldn't see his face also for the last time he left the world.
And this moved you.
So it really feels bad when a father or a son, his father is sitting in a protest, his son is dying, defending the nation, and yet the people are linking the farmers' protest to terrorism and anti-social and Naxalites and whatnot. So I don't think this is the right approach to the farmers' problem. And farmers have been facing this over a period of time. And there are people, farmers who are above 80 years of age, and there are elderly ladies sitting there in the open, in the cold. And then there are youngsters who are serving them, and the farmer leadership is trying to explain, meeting after meeting is going on, yet no decision is being taken. So thinking that the farming community will face a bleak future, and what I took from my father, I'm supposed to give it to my sons. And I felt that I'll not do justice to my life. And also I'll be unable to face my father once I face him. So I said that I was really hurt over the plight of the farmers, and also seeing the bleak future of farming in future. the problems which they'll be facing, I just said what I inherited from my father, I'll not be able to hand it over to the next generation. And similarly, all the farmers are feeling so. So this really hurts when you, as a common man or as an officer also, but finally, because I was a farmer, and I'll one day leave this world as a farmer, this job or these things will not stay permanent with me. But I was born a farmer and I'll live my life as a farmer, and later on I'll die as a farmer. But I have to give what I took from my father, I have to pass it on to my sons. So it really hurts when I see the younger generation will face lot many problems if these ordinances go through.
And have any of your family members so far joined the farmers' protest? Are they part of the Chalo Delhi movement? Are they on the highway right now by any chance?
Yes, my cousins, my brothers, they have been participating in it. But my mother is 81 years of age and she's not in a good health, so she didn't go there. And I couldn't go because I was supposed to follow certain pattern of rules and discipline, and I am not supposed to go in for any protest unless I decide about my job. So this is it.
And could you tell me a little bit about the farming history in your family, a little more on where you own land and how much land and what do you grow?
I am from Abohar. It's a small town on the international border, around 10 kilometers from Pakistan. There is a small village, Kilyawali. I am from there. And then from families, we have been staying there. We have been working there as farmers. And although some politicians were from our family, Shri Balram Jakhad, he was a big politician and he got Krishi Pandit Award. And then our grandfather was also in politics. He was 4 times MP, Sardar Iqbal Singh, from 1st to 4th assembly.
Right.
So we have been working there generally as farmer, except these 2 in our family. Rest all the people were working as common farmers.
Right. And what do you grow?
Making their ends meet.
And what do you grow on the land?
Ma'am, we grow wheat, we grow rice, we grow cotton, and then we have orchards of quinoa. Quinoa is a citrus fruit. If you have, maybe it has not reached you, it's a citrus fruit type of orange.
Okay.
Mandarin, it's mandarin.
Mandarin, right. And you have also previously said that you've never entered into contract farming or never entered into sale. You've always sold your produce to the government or at the mandi, right?
Yes, this practice is not contract farming, is not a practice in our village. And if it is done, the small farmers do this for better living. They take the land on rent from the bigger farmers, but not a very practiced thing in our area. So I think everybody has to do something. So contract farming is not in a big way in our area.
Right. And just out of curiosity, what do you make of the laws, sir? Now that you're the former DIG, I'm sure you have the freedom to also speak more about it. What do you make of the laws? How do you understand it? And what do you think will be the impact?
Ma'am, see, they have said that it will be one market. So it will be a national market. Farms and farmer can go and sell his crop and everywhere and such. See, if a farmer is getting proper price at his doorsteps or at his mandi, why should a farmer from UP come to Punjab or a farmer from Punjab go to any other part of the country to sell his farms? And then nobody was stopping us actually from taking our crop anywhere. But economically, it was not viable. And even today, it will not be viable for a farmer of a small holding to take his crop and maybe sell it in Delhi or other places of the country. He has to, the problem of the farmer is, which should be understood, that he has to sell his crop next door, or say the next town which is available. To me, the town is Abohar. It's 8 kilometers from my village. I always carry my crops there and sell them there to the adatiyas who charge me for their services, which they provide. And then now people are addressing them with a different language. This is a problem of adatiyas also.
In terms of a different language, as you mean, they're being called middleman?
Yes, they've been called middlemen, but they are providing their services. See, like I take cotton or like I take wheat, they first check the moisture of the wheat, then they clean the wheat, then they pack it in the gunny bags, then they load it in a truck, and then they send it to the stores. So for all this, they charge us around 20 rupees a quintal, which is, I don't think, a very big amount. Rather, it's very pity that this term is being used for the adatiyas. They are, maybe at some places there may be such a trend, but then from the practice which earlier Bihar was having this markets under the APMC rules, that market structure was damaged, was destroyed. And now farmers from Bihar and farmers from UP, they are selling it to the actual middleman. And those are the people who are carrying it. So I think they should get an opportunity. Farmers should get the minimum support price at their doorsteps. Or rather, there are issues also regarding Swaminathan report, but then that has not been taken up. But as of now, Punjab was having MSP, and there is a fear in farmers that MSP system will go.
Right. I mean, and because the government has constantly responded by saying that this does not mean the abolishing of MSP, it just means bringing in a parallel economy. But you do believe that these laws will eventually lead to the abolition of MSP?
I don't believe this is a practical thing which has happened in mandis of Bihar, mandis of UP. Now in UP, farmers can sell only sugarcane at a good price. Otherwise, paddy, they are having problems. Then Bihar is having problems of paddy. So this is not a matter of simple belief. The problems actually exist there.
And so with the news of your resignation, the news of the allegation of corruption that was made against you in May 2020 has also come up. And so in that regard, I would like to ask you a question. It's twofold, actually. Firstly, since there's an ongoing inquiry, so for our viewers who don't know, there was an allegation of corruption against Mr. Singh in May 2020, and he was suspended early this year. And 2 months ago, you were reinstated and reporting at the Chandigarh headquarters in Punjab. And I would like to ask you that since there is an ongoing inquiry, do you think that your resignation will be officially accepted? And as far as I know, that it hasn't yet been officially accepted. So do you think it will be, or would you have to serve the time until the inquiry will be closed?
Ma'am, firstly, in the 32 years of my service, this is the only allegation made against me. And that too also, there is no written complaint against me. But still, I faced the inquiry, and inquiry has been completed already. So secondly, you said about the procedure of putting up my papers for premature. That is, I had to give a 3 months notice, number one. Number two, if I want it from the day, that is from a particular date, that is today, in my case, that was 12th of December 2020, I am supposed to pay that notice period in form of any amount asked by the government. In my putting up my papers, I have mentioned that I request you to treat me prematurely retired from this date, that is 12th of December 2020, and whatever amount you will tell me, I'll deposit whenever I am told.
Right.
So there is no hitch in it. 1 minute, please give me one more question.
Sure. Yeah.
And as far as any inquiry is pending, if any inquiry is pending against anybody for that matter, the government can, rather it is the rule that the government can hold back his pension of up to 10% or 20% or whatever government decides. But holding back an officer who doesn't want to serve anymore is not a procedure. So I think they will do it in a day or two. I don't see any problem in that.
Right.
They can stop whatever they want. They can ask me to refund whatever they have given to me. It is not it's out of question that they should stop me legally. Supreme Court of India has many judgments in this matter.
The other question that I have to ask you is, a lot of people have raised their eyebrows and raised the question that, is Mr. Singh using the farmer protest and resigning in order to escape from any action that could come through the inquiry? Now, I'd really like you to respond to these questions that have been raised so far.
No, people are doing it for their vested interest. If nobody for that matter can escape anything, if while on service or otherwise as a citizen of India, where will you go? There is no hiding. And then if you have not done anything wrong, you don't have any problem facing anything.
Right. And you've also said that
many officers do face inquiries even at their retirement. There are laws that if an officer is retired and for a period of, after a 3 years period of his retirement, something comes up against him, he can be called in for inquiry. So this is out of question.
Right.
I don't fear from inquiries.
Got it.
But
and sorry, go on.
Please.
No, I was just going to say that you've also said that you will be visiting Delhi soon and you will be attending the farmer protest. Do you know which border you're going to be at? And is there a plan of action? Are you planning to spend the night on the highway as well? Are you planning to go on hunger strike? Is there any plan of action?
As of now, hopefully I'll go there and spend a night also, maybe more. Whatever time I can take it out, and there is no problem. I have spent cold nights in Jammu and Kashmir when I was in army duty. There's no problem in it.
Right. And by any chance, will we be seeing you join politics anytime soon?
As of now, or I don't think I am a very simple man, and I don't think I'll be in politics. This is just an emotional phase that has taken over. And in Punjabi, they say fasal te nasal da masla hai. Fasal means the crops and nasal means the future generations. So it's the issue of the crops and the future generations. So we think once this is resolved, there is nothing for me. I just go live in my village a peaceful life and hand over whatever I can best do for my kids, I'll do. And
right. So joining politics, as of now, at least, is not anywhere in the
Yes. Politics is not my cup of tea, my cup of coffee.
All right. Got it. Thank you so much, sir, for joining us and taking the time out. And I hope that you have a good journey to Delhi and you're able to express your solidarity with the farmers as best as possible. Thank you for taking the time out.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much for taking out your time for me. Thank you.
Thank you.